From the dusty streets of Rosario to becoming the greatest footballer of all time, Lionel Messi's journey is one of dreams, dedication, and heart. Witness the story of a boy who never stopped believing in himself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, My Life, My Story, to follow more inspiring stories like this. The boy who refused to stop dreaming. In the narrow streets of Rosario, where dust rose with every kick of a worn-out football, a small boy chased something much bigger than the game itself. His name was Lionel Andres Messi. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the tallest. And to many, he wasn't even supposed to make it. But he had something no one could measure. Lionel Messi was born on June 24, 1987, into a modest family. His father worked in a steel factory and his mother cleaned houses. Life was simple, sometimes difficult, but filled with love. From the moment he could walk, Messi didn't just play football. He lived it. While other children chased toys, Messi chased the ball. At just 4 years old, he joined a local club coached by his father. People quickly noticed something unusual. The ball seemed glued to his feet. It wasn't just skill. It was instinct. Older kids tried to push him off the ball. They failed. Again and again. By the age of 10, Messi's talent was undeniable. But so was a problem that threatened to end everything. He was diagnosed with a condition called growth hormone deficiency. His body wasn't developing like other children. Without treatment, he would remain unusually small. The treatment was expensive. Too expensive. His family couldn't afford it. Local clubs admired his talent but hesitated. Investing in a small, fragile boy with a medical condition seemed too risky. For the first time, Messi faced something his talent couldn't beat. A napkin that changed history. Everything changed when Messi got a chance to trial with FC Barcelona. He was just 13, in a foreign country, far from home. Nervous, but determined. During the trial, Messi didn't just impress, he stunned everyone. Coaches watched in silence as he danced past defenders twice his size. One director, Karl Rexek, didn't want to lose him. Legend says that because there was no formal paper at hand, Rexek wrote a contract on a napkin, promising Barcelona would sign Messi. That napkin became one of the most famous contracts in football history. Barcelona also agreed to pay for his medical treatment. Messi's dream had survived. But the hardest part was just beginning. Moving to Spain meant leaving everything behind: friends, family, comfort. At 13, Messi felt alone. He struggled with homesickness. He missed Argentina deeply. Many nights he wondered if it was worth it. But every morning he returned to the field, because that's where he belonged. At Barcelona's academy La Masia, Messi grew, not just physically, but mentally. His treatment worked. Slowly his body caught up, but his style never changed. He was still the small boy weaving through giants. By 17, Messi made his first team debut for Barcelona. The world didn't know it yet, but football was about to change forever. At first he was just the young talent. Then came the goals. Then the assists. Then the moments that left people speechless. Fans began comparing him to Diego Maradona, another Argentine genius. But Messi wasn't trying to be the next Maradona. He was becoming something entirely his own. As Messi grew, so did expectations. Every match, people expected magic. Every season, they expected trophies. And Messi delivered. Year after year. With Barcelona, he won league titles, domestic cups, and the biggest prize in European football, the UEFA Champions League. Individually, he collected Ballon d'Or trophies, not once, not twice, but many times, becoming the best player in the world. But success comes with pressure. And pressure comes with criticism. For all his success at Barcelona, Messi faced heartbreak with his national team. Argentina national football team? Final after final. Loss after loss. Critics questioned him. Why can't he win for Argentina? The question followed him everywhere. At one point, after a painful defeat, Messi even announced his retirement from international football. It felt like the story might end incomplete. But legends don't end like that. Messi came back, not because it was easy, but because he couldn't walk away. He carried his country's hopes once again, through doubt, pressure, and expectation. Years passed. Then came the breakthrough. Argentina finally won a major trophy, the Copa America. Messi lifted it, not with arrogance, but with relief and tears. Then came the biggest stage of all, the FIFA World Cup. Messi had one last chance to complete his story. In 2022 FIFA World Cup, the world watched. Every match felt like destiny. Every goal, every assist, every moment, Messi gave everything. And in the final, he delivered. Argentina won. Messi lifted the World Cup trophy, the one thing missing from his career. The boy from Rosario had completed football. Today, Lionel Messi is not just a footballer. He is a symbol of perseverance, of quiet determination, of proving that greatness doesn't come from size, strength, or noise, but from heart. He never needed to shout. His feet did the talking. Messi's story isn't just about football. It's about believing when others doubt you. It's about continuing when things seem impossible. It's about turning weakness into strength. Because once upon a time, a small boy with a big dream refused to give up. And the world will never forget his name. When Messi arrived at La Masia, Barcelona's famed youth academy, he wasn't the star yet. He was the small Argentine boy with trembling nerves and a heart full of hope. The dorms were quiet. The hallways echoed with the sounds of disciplined training. Some boys were older, bigger, and faster. And Messi often wondered, can I really compete here? But there was a secret, a spark. Messi learned that talent alone wouldn't make him great. He had to be disciplined, humble, and endlessly curious. Coaches pushed him, sometimes harshly. They demanded that he understand every angle of the game, positioning, vision, timing. Messi spent hours after regular training practicing on his own. He dribbled past imaginary defenders in empty gyms. He passed through invisible teammates. He rehearsed scenarios he would later face on the biggest stages. By the time he turned 15, Messi's skill was undeniable. Scouts whispered about the little magician, the boy who moved like the wind and saw the game in ways no one else could. At 16, Messi played with Barcelona B, the reserve team. It was a stepping stone, a test. And every match was an audition. Then came November 16, 2003. Messi made his first team debut in a friendly. He was 16 years, 4 months old, barely old enough to vote in Argentina. He was nervous. The stadium was huge. Fans roared. Every touch mattered. And he delivered a glimpse of what was to come. A few months later, he officially debuted in La Liga, Spain's top league. Though small in stature, Messi's dribbles, sudden bursts of speed, and ability to see the game 2 steps ahead made him feel like giants couldn't touch him. Fans began to notice. Commentators began to talk. And slowly, the boy from Rosario became the hope of Barcelona. Messi's first goal for Barcelona came in 2005 against Albacete. It was a simple goal in many ways, but for Messi it was everything. He remembers that day vividly, the ball at his feet, the defenders approaching and the net waiting. When it hit the back of the goal, it was as if a weight had lifted. The first of hundreds to come? From that moment, Messi became unstoppable. Goals piled up, records tumbled, and trophies began filling the club's cabinets. But even as Barcelona celebrated, Messi remained focused. Fame didn't change him. His joy came from the game itself, not applause or headlines. Over the next decade, Messi became the heart of Barcelona. He won league titles, domestic cups, and Champions League trophies. His duels with Cristiano Ronaldo became legendary. Every match was a story, every goal a masterpiece. But it wasn't easy. Messi faced injuries that threatened his career. Opponents played rough, trying to stop him physically. And the weight of expectations was crushing. Yet Messi's response was always the same: silence, focus, action. He didn't argue with critics. He let his feet speak. Fans and teammates marveled at his humility. Despite fame, Messi often remained quiet off the pitch, preferring family, friends, and simple joys over the celebrity lifestyle. While Messi's club career soared, his journey with the Argentina national team was filled with frustration. Copa America finals ended in heartbreak. World Cup runs often fell short. Critics questioned whether he could ever lead his country to glory. These were the darkest days. Messi felt the weight of a nation's expectations pressing on his shoulders. After a particularly painful loss in 2016, Messi shocked the world by announcing his retirement from international football. "I need to rest," he said. "I can't do this anymore." Argentina mourned. Fans cried. Yet even in withdrawal, Messi's love for the game remained. His retirement wasn't permanent. His heart still beat for football. Messi returned to the national team, motivated by something deeper than personal glory, love for his country. Every match became a mission. Every tournament a redemption. He led Argentina with courage, vision, and precision. In 2021, Messi finally lifted the Copa America, ending a 28-year trophy drought for Argentina. Tears streamed down his face during the national anthem. The same boy who once feared he couldn't grow now stood tall, a champion. For Messi, it wasn't just about winning. It was about proving to himself and everyone who doubted him that persistence, patience, and passion could overcome even the heaviest burdens. After winning the Copa America in 2021, Messi's eyes turned toward the ultimate prize, the FIFA World Cup. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar wasn't just another tournament. It was Messi's last chance to complete the story he had dreamed of since he was a boy in Rosario, kicking a tattered ball down dusty streets. Messi knew the weight of history rested on his shoulders. Argentina had not won the World Cup since 1986, the era of Diego Maradona. The nation's hope was pinned on him. Training camps, friendlies, and qualifiers were grueling. Every match carried pressure. Every move was scrutinized by fans and media. Yet Messi approached each game with the same quiet focus he had always had. Play, give your all, and trust your heart. In Qatar, Messi played like the magician everyone knew he could be. He scored goals with precision and elegance, weaving through defenders as if the laws of physics bent around him. Every assist, every pass seemed effortless, yet it carried a lifetime of practice, sacrifice, and instinct. Argentina advanced through the group stages with Messi as the heartbeat of the team. Teammates leaned on him, fans cheered for him, and opponents dreaded him. But challenges came. The knockout stages were brutal. Messi faced moments of doubt, a missed pass, a near goal, a save from a goalkeeper that could have changed everything. Yet Messi's calm under pressure never faltered. He knew that great victories require both skill and patience. The final was set. Argentina versus France. The stadium was alive with tension, a sea of blue, white, and red. The world watched, holding its breath. The match became an instant classic. Messi scored, assisted, and battled tirelessly. Every minute was a story of courage, skill, and heart. When the game ended in a penalty shootout, Messi's destiny hung by a thread. And then it happened. Argentina won. Messi lifted the World Cup trophy. For the first time, tears rolled freely down his face. Tears of relief, joy, and fulfillment. The boy who once feared he couldn't grow now stood on the highest stage in football, the ultimate champion. With the World Cup in his hands, Messi had completed what many thought impossible. But his story wasn't just about trophies or goals. It was about perseverance, about humility, about the quiet determination to pursue a dream, no matter how improbable. Messi returned to Barcelona briefly, then moved on to Paris Saint-Germain, where he continued to play at the highest level. Fans around the world celebrated him not only for what he achieved, but for how he achieved it with grace, intelligence, and a love for the game that never faded. Messi inspired millions of children to chase their dreams. He reminded the world that greatness is not always loud. Sometimes it is small, patient, and persistent. Looking back, Messi's journey is a story of transformation. From a small boy in Rosario, struggling with a medical condition, to the world's greatest footballer, he never lost his sense of wonder. Every kick, every goal, every victory was driven by love for football, love for family, and love for Argentina. Even now, long after trophies and records, Messi remains a symbol that no obstacle is too great if your heart refuses to quit. He is the boy who refused to stop dreaming, and through that dream, he became immortal. Even as Messi conquered the world on the field, life off the pitch remained grounded. Messi married his childhood love, Antonella Roccuzzo, someone who had known him since they were children in Rosario. Their bond was quiet but unshakable, a steady anchor amid the chaos of fame. Family life gave Messi a new perspective. The joy of raising children, Thiago, Matteo, and Ciro, taught him patience and humility. Even champions need bedtime stories, scraped knees, and laughter echoing through their homes. Away from stadium lights, Messi loved simple things, playing with his sons, cooking with Antonella, visiting Rosario when possible, and quietly watching football, not as a player, but as a father and a fan. He understood that life's greatest victories were not always measured in trophies. Success does not erase challenges. After years at Barcelona, financial troubles and club politics forced Messi into an impossible decision. In 2021, he left the club that had been his home for over 20 years. Barcelona's stadium had been his stage, the walls his sanctuary, and now he had to say goodbye. Fans wept, Messi cried. Even for a player accustomed to pressure, leaving Barcelona felt like losing a piece of himself. Yet, Messi embraced the next chapter with courage. He joined Paris Saint-Germain, a new team, a new country, and a new challenge. Critics doubted him again. Could he adapt? Could he shine in a different league? Messi's answer was the same he had given since he was a boy. Focus, work, and let your feet tell the story. At PSG, Messi continued to score, assist, and inspire. His records grew. Goals, assists, appearances, numbers that seemed to defy time. But Messi never flaunted them. He was more interested in the next match, the next opportunity to play beautifully. Awards piled up, including multiple Ballon d'Or trophies. Yet Messi remained the same humble boy at heart. To him, the accolades were milestones, not destinations. He reflected on his journey often. From medical struggles as a child to lifting the World Cup, every obstacle had taught him resilience. Every failure had fueled his fire. Every joy had reminded him why he played. Messi's influence extended beyond goals and trophies. Young players around the world studied him. Coaches used his career as a lesson in humility, discipline, and brilliance. Messi quietly mentored young athletes, encouraging them to embrace the love of the game over fame or money. He showed the world that greatness isn't about arrogance or ego. It's about persistence, empathy, and respect for the sport. Even now, children in Rosario kick balls in dusty streets, dreaming of Messi-like magic, proving that his legacy wasn't just in stadiums but in hearts everywhere. Messi's life teaches a powerful lesson: a hero doesn't need to shout. Sometimes, the quietest, most determined souls leave the loudest impact. He faced doubt, pain, and heartbreak. He conquered obstacles that seemed insurmountable. And through it all, he remained true to himself. Messi's story is more than football. It's a tale of perseverance, love, humility, and the courage to keep dreaming. From Rosario's narrow streets to the grandest stadiums in the world, from a sickly boy to a global icon, Messi's journey proves that talent is only the beginning. Heart, character, and perseverance define a legend. And Lionel Messi, the boy who refused to stop dreaming, will be remembered forever. Lionel Messi had become more than a footballer. He was a symbol, a hero, and a living legend. With every match, expectations grew heavier. Every move was scrutinized. Every failure magnified. Social media buzzed, pundits debated, and fans hoped. Yet Messi carried it all with the same quiet determination that defined his youth. He rarely spoke in anger. He rarely showed frustration. His philosophy was simple: control what you can. Play your best. Everything else will follow. Even at PSG, with a new league and new teammates, Messi adapted. He worked tirelessly, studying opponents, analyzing plays, and teaching young players by example. Pressure was constant, but Messi had learned to use it as fuel, not a burden. Throughout his career, Messi had moments that would become immortalized in football history. A solo run past multiple defenders to score against Getafe, reminiscent of Maradona's legendary goal in 1986, a last-minute free kick that won a Champions League semifinal. A delicate chip over the goalkeeper in a World Cup match. Each moment carried the weight of preparation, instinct, and courage. But what truly defined Messi wasn't just the goals, it was the way he played. He made the impossible look easy. He lifted teammates. He carried nations on his shoulders. And yet he remained humble, never seeking glory for himself alone. Even legends have struggles. Messi faced injuries that sidelined him for weeks, months, and sometimes entire seasons. He endured criticism when Argentina fell short of expectations. He faced doubts when transitioning to PSG, and he confronted the relentless march of time, a reminder that even the greatest must adapt to change. Yet Messi never quit. He learned to manage his body, to rest, to train smarter, and to listen to his instincts. The greatest lesson he carried was this: setbacks are not the end. They are preparation for something greater. Away from stadium lights and cheering crowds, Messi was a man of simplicity. He cherished quiet mornings with Antonella. He laughed with his children over games in the living room. He walked the streets of Rosario, often unrecognized, remembering where he came from. Messi's humility was his strength. It reminded everyone that fame doesn't define character, choices, actions, and kindness do. Even as a global icon, he valued family, friendship, and the pure joy of football over wealth or accolades. Messi's approach to life and football was guided by subtle but powerful principles. Patience: great things take time, and progress is often invisible until it becomes undeniable. Discipline: talent alone isn't enough. Every day counts. Humility: never forget your roots, no matter how high you rise. Love for the game: passion surpasses fame, pressure, and fear. These values not only shaped his career but inspired millions worldwide. Children, athletes, and dreamers saw in Messi a model of quiet greatness. Messi's impact extended far beyond the pitch. He became an ambassador for sportsmanship, charitable causes, and youth development. His foundation supported children in need, giving opportunities to those who, like him, faced obstacles early in life. Through football, Messi taught lessons about resilience, hope, and the power of following one's dreams. His story reminded the world that legends are not only defined by trophies, but by the lives they touch. Messi's career continued to flourish, but even as he approached the twilight of his playing days, his influence remained immense. Records fell, yet new talents rose, inspired by the boy from Rosario. Coaches and teammates learned from his vision, patience, and creativity. Fans cherished every moment, knowing they were witnessing something historic. Even in retirement, Messi's story would endure as a symbol of perseverance, humility, and excellence. Lionel Messi began as a small boy, uncertain of his future, battling medical challenges, and chasing a dream in dusty streets. He became the greatest footballer of his generation, the bearer of Argentina's hopes, a global icon, and an inspiration to millions. Yet, at the heart of it all, he remained that same boy. Curious, passionate, determined, fearless in pursuit of the ball. Messi's story is not just about football. It is about life, the struggle, the hope, the relentless pursuit of excellence, and the joy of following one's passion. The boy from Rosario refused to stop dreaming, and in doing so, he showed the world that greatness is possible for anyone willing to persevere. After leaving Barcelona, Messi arrived in Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, a new city, a new team, a new league. Everything was different. At first, it wasn't easy. Ligue 1 demanded physicality, speed, and adaptation to a new style of play. Media scrutiny was relentless. Critics questioned whether the world's greatest player could shine outside Spain. But Messi didn't complain. He didn't demand special treatment. He simply played quietly, efficiently, and brilliantly. His goals and assists came, reminding everyone why he was considered a once-in-a-generation talent. Yet beyond the numbers, Messi's leadership shone. He encouraged teammates, mentored young stars, and carried the same humility he had always embodied. Even in a new environment, Messi's philosophy remained unchanged. Play for the love of the game, not the applause. While Messi adjusted to his new club, the world continued to watch him with reverence. Young fans mimicked his dribbling in playgrounds. Coaches studied his positioning and vision. Pundits debated his moves, but even they couldn't deny the genius of his play. Messi's story became a global parable, a tale of perseverance, discipline, and passion. From the dusty streets of Rosario to the grand stadiums of Europe, the journey inspired millions. Yet Messi never let fame define him. Every goal, every victory, every record was a milestone, not a measure of self-worth. Messi often reflected on his life. He remembered the boy with a growth hormone deficiency, the lonely nights in Spain, and the injuries that threatened his career. He thought about the lessons football had taught him: patience, focus, humility, and the power of dreams. Messi understood something few legends do. Greatness isn't just about winning trophies. It's about inspiring others, leaving the world a little better, and staying true to oneself. Even in interviews, he emphasized the joy of playing over accolades. His message was simple: work hard, love what you do, respect others, and never give up. Though Messi had finally lifted the World Cup in 2022, he knew every tournament brought new challenges. He celebrated Argentina's victory but remained mindful that football is fleeting, a beautiful game, but one that tests patience, resilience, and character. The World Cup win was not just a personal achievement. It was a fulfillment of a nation's hope, a reward for years of persistence, and a testament to the power of dedication. For Messi, the greatest moments were not the trophies themselves, but the smiles of teammates, the cheers of fans, and the pride of representing his country. Messi's impact extended far beyond his playing career. He inspired a generation of players, small, fast, intelligent, and creative. He showed that size, injury, or early struggles could not define destiny. His foundation supported children in need, bringing opportunities to those who faced obstacles like he once did. He used his influence to make football accessible, fair, and joyful. Messi's story became a blueprint for life, a reminder that humility, perseverance, and passion outweigh wealth, fame, or ego. Even as Messi approached the end of his playing days, his magic never faded. He continued to create moments that defied logic: a dribble past 3 defenders, a perfectly placed chip, a pass that seemed impossible. Fans would watch in awe, knowing they were witnessing history in motion. And yet Messi remained grounded, a quiet hero, a man whose heart had always belonged to the game. His career became a lesson. Greatness is not only measured in trophies or records, but in how one plays the game, inspires others, and carries oneself with dignity. Messi's story began in the dusty streets of Rosario and stretched across the world. From a small boy battling a medical condition, to the greatest footballer of his generation, to a global inspiration, he had achieved what most could only dream of. Yet, at his core, Messi remained the same boy, curious, determined, passionate, and fearless. He had shown the world that dreams are possible, that hard work pays off, and that true greatness is quiet, consistent, and rooted in love for what you do. Lionel Messi's journey is not just a football story. It is a human story, a story of courage, perseverance, humility, and hope. And for the world, the boy from Rosario will never stop inspiring. While the world watched Messi in stadiums across Europe and the Middle East, his anchor remained his family. Antonella, his childhood love and lifelong partner, was the quiet support behind every goal, every record, and every challenge. She reminded Messi to stay grounded, to find joy beyond football. Their children brought new meaning to his life. Thiago, Mateo, and Ciro chased their own dreams in the backyard, sometimes pretending to be Messi, sometimes teaching him patience when chaos reigned at home. Messi often reflected that the greatest victories were not in stadiums, but in quiet moments with family, a shared laugh, a bedtime story, a comforting hug after a tough match. Even as fame and fortune surrounded him, Messi's life remained simple. He never lost sight of what mattered most: love, family, and football. Messi's career was filled with moments that would live forever in football history. A Champions League goal against Manchester United, where he danced past defenders as if they were standing still. A solo effort against Real Madrid that reminded the world why he was called the Magician. At the 2022 World Cup, his penalty against France, his vision in the midfield, and his ability to lift Argentina from despair to victory were more than athletic feats. They were stories of determination, instinct, and courage. These moments were not just about skill. They were about belief that the ball, the game, and his heart could achieve the impossible. With every trophy, every goal, and every record, Messi carried the weight of expectation. Fans wondered if he could maintain his brilliance in a new league. Critics questioned if he could continue performing at 35, 36, 37 years old. Messi faced injuries that tested both body and spirit. Every setback could have ended his career, but he adapted. He trained smarter, rested when needed, and relied on his intelligence and experience to outthink opponents. He learned that endurance was not only physical but mental. And through it all, Messi never lost his joy for football. Messi's leadership style was unconventional. He did not yell, he did not intimidate. Instead, he led by example. A perfectly timed pass, a selfless assist, or a moment of brilliance inspired teammates more than speeches ever could. Younger players learned from him not only how to play the game, but how to handle fame, pressure, and success with dignity. Messi showed that a true leader lifts others, and greatness is measured by the positive impact on those around you. Even legends face private battles. Messi carried personal struggles silently. He endured injuries that left him frustrated and anxious. He felt the sting of defeats with Argentina, knowing the weight of an entire nation rested on his shoulders. He faced criticism in public, sometimes unfair, sometimes harsh. But Messi rarely responded with anger. He let the game speak for him. His resilience came from his mindset: focus on what you can control, work tirelessly, and never let setbacks define you. Messi often reflected on the meaning of his journey. Football was more than a sport. It was a teacher. It taught patience, humility, strategy, and courage. It revealed human emotion in its purest form: joy, despair, hope, and triumph. Messi's philosophy was simple: love the process, respect the opponents, and play for the joy of the game. He became a mentor not only for footballers but for anyone chasing a dream, proving that persistence and integrity create legends. Messi's influence extended beyond Europe and South America. He inspired children in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Young athletes studied his movements, emulated his dribbles, and adopted his quiet determination. He became a symbol of what's possible, that even the smallest, most fragile child can rise to the heights of global acclaim through dedication and heart. Yet Messi never lost his humility. Despite worldwide fame, he remained approachable, kind, and grounded, a rare combination in the modern world of sports. Messi's legacy is not only in records or trophies. It lives in the children kicking balls in dusty streets, dreaming of following in his footsteps. It lives in the coaches who teach patience, discipline, and creativity. It lives in the fans who believe that dreams are attainable. Through football, Messi taught life lessons. Persistence beats doubt. Humility beats arrogance, and love for what you do beats all other motivations. From a small boy in Rosario to a global icon, Messi never stopped dreaming. He faced medical challenges, criticism, injuries, and the pressures of expectation. Yet his heart never wavered. His love for football remained pure. Lionel Messi's story is not just the story of a footballer. It is the story of courage, persistence, humility, and the human spirit. The boy who once kicked a worn-out ball in dusty streets showed the world that greatness is possible for anyone willing. to chase their dreams no matter the obstacles, no matter the odds. And Messi's legacy will live forever, inspiring generations to come. Even after decades of fame, Messi's love for football remained unchanged. He often spoke about the joy of simply kicking a ball. The roar of the crowd, the intensity of competition, and the stakes of a match were all thrilling but nothing compared to the pure delight of controlling the ball at his feet. Messi remembered the dusty streets of Rosario, where every kick of a worn-out ball felt like magic. That feeling never left him, even in sold-out stadiums in Paris, Madrid, or Barcelona. For Messi, football was not just a career, it was a lifelong passion, an expression of creativity, and a source of joy that no fame or fortune could replace. Throughout his journey, Messi's family remained the foundation of his life. Antonella supported him in ways no one outside the family could understand. She managed the chaos of fame, helped raise their children, and reminded Messi of what was truly important. Thiago, Matteo, and Ciro grew up witnessing their father's brilliance, yet they also experienced his tenderness, his playfulness, and his humility. Messi often brought them onto the pitch after matches, teaching them simple skills, laughing at their mistakes, and celebrating small victories with the same passion he once had as a child. Messi's family reminded him that life extended beyond stadiums, trophies, and records. They grounded him, gave him perspective, and ensured that even a global icon could remain human. Messi's career was defined by rivalries, none more famous than with Cristiano Ronaldo. Their duels in El Clasico, the UEFA Champions League, and international competitions became legendary. Critics often debated who was better, but Messi never allowed rivalry to distract him. Instead, he respected Ronaldo's talent while focusing on his own game. Their silent competition pushed Messi to new heights, refining his skills, sharpening his instincts, and teaching him that greatness often comes from challenges, not comfort. Messi's style was a combination of instinct, intelligence, and creativity. He dribbled as if the defenders weren't there, passed as if he could see the entire field in one glance, and scored as if the goal were calling him by name. Coaches marveled at his vision, teammates trusted him instinctively, and opponents despaired in their attempts to stop him. But Messi's brilliance was never arrogant. Every play, every goal, every assist was part of a larger story, a story of teamwork, strategy, and love for the game. Even legends face trials that money or talent cannot solve. Messi dealt with injuries that kept him off the pitch, contract uncertainties, and media scrutiny that could be harsh and unfair. He faced moments of self-doubt, wondering if he could continue performing at the highest level. But he never gave up. Messi's resilience came from his mindset: focus on what you can control, work tirelessly, and always remember why you started. These struggles reminded him and the world that greatness is as much about persistence and character as it is about skill. As Messi's career progressed, he became a mentor to younger players. He taught them not only football skills but also values, humility, patience, teamwork, and respect. He reminded them that talent alone is not enough. Character defines a true champion. Through his foundation, Messi also gave back to communities in Argentina and around the world, helping children access education, medical care, and football opportunities. He knew that his influence extended far beyond stadiums, and he embraced the responsibility of inspiring future generations. Even in the later years of his career, Messi continued to win. Every league match, every cup final, every Champions League appearance was a testament to his skill and longevity. But Messi's greatest achievements were not just trophies, they were moments of inspiration. Assisting a young teammate in scoring their first professional goal, lifting a struggling team with his presence, and bringing joy to fans worldwide. He demonstrated that a true champion leaves a legacy of influence, not just medals. Messi often reflected on his extraordinary journey. From the small boy in Rosario, battling a growth hormone deficiency, to the global superstar lifting the World Cup, Messi saw every challenge as part of a larger story. He understood that life, like football, is full of unexpected turns, setbacks, and opportunities. His advice to others was simple but profound. Work hard, stay humble, love what you do, and never stop dreaming. Messi's story became a roadmap for perseverance, courage, and the pursuit of excellence. Even after decades at the top, Messi's brilliance never faded. He continued to create moments that defied logic, a perfectly timed dribble, a pass that split defenses, a goal that seemed impossible. Fans watched in awe, knowing they were witnessing history. And yet, Messi remained grounded, a quiet magician, humble yet extraordinary, a living reminder that dedication and heart define greatness. Messi's influence will last long after he hangs up his boots. From children playing in the streets of Rosario to stadiums packed with fans worldwide, Messi's story is a testament to perseverance, humility, and love for the game. He showed that obstacles are not the end, that setbacks are temporary, and that true greatness comes from passion, discipline, and the courage to chase your dreams. Lionel Messi, the boy who refused to stop dreaming, will inspire generations forever. Even after conquering Europe, Messi never forgot his roots. He frequently returned to Rosario, walking the streets where he had grown up. The narrow alleys and dusty fields reminded him of the boy he had been, small, determined, and endlessly curious about the world. These trips grounded him. They reminded him that fame and fortune were temporary, but character and passion were enduring. Messi often brought his children to Rosario, showing them the playgrounds where he had honed his magic, ensuring the next generation understood the value of hard work and humility. Messi's career was punctuated by matches that became legends. In the 2009 Champions League final, he scored a goal against Manchester United that showcased his balance, speed, and vision. In the 2011 El Clasico, Messi dribbled past defenders as if the rules of physics did not apply, leaving the stadium in stunned silence. Even in PSG, he delivered moments of brilliance, a curled free kick against Lyon, a delicate chip over the goalkeeper in League One, and a perfectly timed assist to a young teammate celebrating his first goal. Each match was a testament not just to skill but to preparation, intelligence, and relentless curiosity about the game. Messi's career demanded sacrifices, but his family was always his anchor. Antonella handled the constant scrutiny of media attention, guided their children through public life, and provided Messi with a sense of normalcy. Their love was quiet but unshakable, a safe harbor in a storm of fame. Messi often recalled sleepless nights when his children were infants, juggling training, travel, and fatherhood. Those nights reminded him that life's greatest victories were not measured in trophies, but in love, laughter, and presence. Even legends feel pressure. Messi experienced it at every stage of his career. Critics questioned his ability to perform in international tournaments. Injuries threatened to derail seasons. Transfers and contract negotiations added uncertainty. But Messi had learned resilience. He approached pressure like a challenge rather than a threat. He focused on what he could control: preparation, effort, and focus, letting the rest follow naturally. This mental strength allowed him to perform at an elite level for decades, defying expectations and inspiring others to persevere. Messi's impact extended beyond his own career. Younger players across Europe and South America studied him, mimicked his movements, and absorbed his philosophy, humility, teamwork, and relentless practice. Messi also guided his teammates directly, quietly offering advice and encouragement. His mentorship was subtle but profound, shaping careers and nurturing talent. Even those who never played alongside him felt his influence, proving that a true legend leaves a mark far beyond personal achievements. Behind the brilliance, Messi's journey was filled with emotional trials. He experienced the heartbreak of World Cup losses, the sting of criticism from fans and media, and the stress of high-stakes matches. At times, the pressure seemed unbearable. Yet Messi faced these moments with grace. He allowed himself to feel disappointment but never let it define him. He returned to the pitch stronger, wiser, and more determined. These struggles humanized him, showing the world that even heroes face fear, doubt, and adversity. Messi often reflected on what football taught him. Life is like a game full of unexpected twists, victories, and setbacks. Perseverance can overcome natural limitations. humility and kindness define true greatness. Passion is the most powerful motivator. He understood that his legacy wasn't just measured in goals, assists, or trophies, but in the lives he touched and the inspiration he provided. The pinnacle of Messi's international career came in the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Every match was tense. Every moment mattered. Messi scored, assisted, and led his team with courage and vision. The final against France was a spectacle, a display of skill, nerve, and resilience. Messi's performance inspired a nation and captivated the world. When Argentina lifted the trophy, Messi cried, not for glory, but for the journey, the sacrifices, the failures, and the dreams that had shaped him. As Messi approached the later stages of his career, speculation about retirement grew. Fans debated whether he could continue at the top. Analysts discussed how he would adjust his style to the limits of aging. Messi faced these questions calmly. He focused on what he could control, preparing, playing, and enjoying every moment on the pitch. He reflected on his journey, grateful for opportunities, mentors, teammates, and fans. He understood that his story was more than goals. It was about resilience, humility, and love for football. Messi's legacy is not confined to statistic trophies. It lives in the children who dream of following in his footsteps, in coaches who teach patience and skill, in fans inspired to pursue their passions. He showed the world that greatness is not about fame, money, or ego, but about love for what you do, perseverance through hardship, and kindness along the way. Lionel Messi, the boy from Rosario who refused to stop dreaming, remains an eternal inspiration. His story proves that with heart, dedication, and humility, anything is possible. After decades at Barcelona, Messi's move to Paris Saint-Germain marked a new chapter in his life. The city was dazzling, the league fast and physical, and the expectations immense. Some questioned whether Messi's brilliance would translate outside Spain, but Messi remained focused. He embraced the challenge with the same quiet determination that had carried him from Rosario to the world stage. Every training session, every match, was approached with patience, discipline, and passion. Though he occasionally struggled to adapt to a new system and teammates, his talent, vision, and leadership remained undeniable. Paris was different from Barcelona, but Messi's family remained his anchor. Antonella and the children adapted to the new city while keeping their Argentine roots alive. Messi often spent mornings walking through parks with his kids, playing football with them, or teaching them simple skills in the backyard. Even with the pressures of professional football, these moments reminded him of what mattered most: love, presence, and joy. Messi often reflected that no trophy or record could replace the happiness of seeing his children smile. As Messi entered his mid-30s, his body demanded more care. Minor injuries required longer recovery times. He needed smarter training routines, more rest, and careful management of match minutes. Yet Messi adapted, adjusting his style without compromising his effectiveness. His intelligence and positioning allowed him to continue performing at an elite level, proving that experience often outweighs raw athleticism. Even with physical challenges, Messi's magic on the pitch never faded. Messi continued to dazzle PSG fans with unforgettable performances. A solo run past multiple defenders in League One, a perfectly timed assist for a teammate's first goal, or a free kick curling into the top corner. These moments reminded the world that even in the twilight of his career, Messi's creativity and skill were unparalleled. Every game was a lesson. Precision, patience, vision, and love for the game defined true greatness. Even in Paris, Messi experienced the full spectrum of football emotions. He celebrated goals, victories, and assists with quiet joy. He endured losses, missed opportunities, and near injuries with resilience. Every setback reminded him of the journey from Rosario, the countless obstacles, the medical treatments, the doubts, and the sacrifices. These experiences shaped his mental toughness, allowing him to remain composed under pressure. Messi's emotional intelligence became as important as his technical brilliance, inspiring teammates and fans alike. Messi became a mentor to younger PSG players. He taught them to read the game, anticipate opponents, and value teamwork. More importantly, he demonstrated humility and professionalism qualities, often overlooked in modern football. Messi's influence extended beyond tactics. He showed young players how to navigate fame, criticism, and personal pressures while remaining grounded. In this way, his legacy continued to grow, not only in records but in the lives he touched directly. Messi often reflected on the arc of his life, from the small boy in Rosario with a growth hormone deficiency, to the prodigy at La Masia, to the world's greatest footballer, lifting the World Cup in 2022, and now mentoring the next generation in Paris. He realized that football had taught him more than skill, it taught patience, humility, resilience, and the importance of love for what you do. He also understood that his journey was a story larger than himself, a story of inspiration, hope, and human potential. Messi often described football as more than a game. It teaches life, he said. It teaches you to persevere, to respect others, to work with your teammates, and to never give up. Every challenge is an opportunity. His philosophy extended beyond the sport. Messi's approach to life mirrored his approach to football: patience, focus, discipline, and love for what you do. Through this mindset, he became not just a player, but a teacher and a role model. Messi's achievements were celebrated worldwide: multiple Ballon d'Or trophies, Champions League victories, league titles, and the ultimate World Cup glory. Yet Messi remained humble. Awards and accolades were milestones, not endpoints. He valued the respect of teammates, the admiration of young players, and the joy of the game above all else. His humility became part of his legend, showing that true greatness is defined as much by character as by skill. Lionel Messi's story is more than football. It is the story of a boy who never stopped dreaming. The boy who faced obstacles, injuries, and doubts but persevered with heart and dedication. It is a story of humility, perseverance, love, and the quiet brilliance of a man who transformed the game. Messi's legacy will live in stadiums, playgrounds, and hearts around the world. His journey reminds us that with passion, persistence, and courage, dreams can be achieved and legends can be born. The boy from Rosario became immortal not just in records and trophies, but in inspiration, teaching generations that greatness begins with a dream and is realized through heart. Messi's leadership style was never loud. He did not shout or command. Instead, he led through action. On the training ground, he set an example. His work ethic, focus, and discipline inspired teammates. Younger players learned that greatness is earned, not demanded. In matches, Messi's vision and intelligence guided the team. A subtle gesture, a perfectly timed pass, or a calm presence in critical moments demonstrated that leadership isn't about words, it's about consistency and integrity. Teammates often said that playing alongside Messi made them better, not just technically but mentally. Even as a global superstar, Messi remained deeply human. He felt anxiety before big games, frustration after injuries, and the pressure of carrying Argentina's hopes in his shoulders. Yet he never let these feelings consume him. He often spent quiet evenings reflecting on his journey, the sacrifices and the relationships that shaped him. Friends and family knew that behind the fame, Messi was the same boy from Rosario, curious, empathetic, and dedicated. His humility allowed him to connect with fans in ways many stars cannot, making his legend not just about skill, but about relatability and character. At Paris Saint-Germain, Messi continued to create unforgettable moments. A free kick curling into the top corner against Marseille. An assist that led a young player to score his first goal in League One. A subtle pass that split defenses against Manchester City in the Champions League. Each moment was a reminder that even in a new city and new league, Messi's brilliance was timeless. He adapted his style to the physicality of League One, relying on intelligence, positioning, and creativity more than sheer speed. Fans and critics alike marveled at his ability to stay at the top of the game well into his mid-30s. Success comes with a personal toll. Messi spent long stretches away from family, traveling across Europe for matches. The scrutiny of media and fans sometimes felt invasive. Expectations could be crushing. Yet Messi approached these challenges with patience and perspective. He focused on what he could control, his preparation, his attitude, and his love for football. He often said that resilience comes not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them with focus, humility, and heart. Messi took mentorship seriously. At PSG, he quietly guided younger players, teaching them game intelligence, positioning, and the subtle art of creating opportunities. More importantly, he taught values, humility, teamwork, and respect. Players spoke about Messi's ability to inspire without words. His presence alone elevated the team, showing that leadership is as much about character as skill. Through mentorship, Messi's influence extended beyond his career, ensuring his legacy would continue through those he touched. Messi often spoke about what football taught him. Life is unpredictable. Perseverance is essential. Success is temporary. Character lasts forever. Teamwork and respect are more important than individual accolades. Love for what you do fuels excellence. Messi's philosophy reflected the journey of his life, a balance between passion, humility, and resilience. It is a blueprint for anyone seeking greatness on or off the field. Messi's greatest joy was family. Antonella provided stability and love, ensuring Messi could focus on football while maintaining a grounded life. His children brought perspective, reminding him that life extends beyond stadiums and trophies. Messi often reflected that the quiet moments playing with his sons, walking with Antonella, revisiting Rosario were as meaningful as winning trophies or scoring goals. These were the moments that truly defined happiness. Messi became a global icon, not just for his goals but for his character. Fans worldwide admired not only his skill but his humility. His journey from Rosario to the world stage inspired millions to pursue their dreams, proving that talent combined with perseverance and integrity can create a legend. Messi's influence was cultural, social, and inspirational, transcending the boundaries of sport. As Messi approached the later years of his career, he often reflected on the passage of time. He understood that every match, every goal, and every assist was a gift. He embraced aging not as a limitation but as a teacher, adapting his style and focusing on intelligence and precision over sheer physicality. His reflections were philosophical. Greatness is not about being the fastest or strongest. It is about heart, consistency, and love for what you do. Messi's story is eternal because it is universal. It is the story of a boy who refused to stop dreaming, who overcame medical challenges, criticism, and setbacks to become the greatest of his generation. It is the story of humility, patience, love, and passion. From Rosario to Barcelona, Paris, and the world stage, Messi inspired countless lives. His journey is a testament to what is possible when talent meets dedication and heart. Lionel Messi, the boy who never stopped dreaming, remains a symbol of hope, resilience, and brilliance, a living legend whose story will inspire generations to come. By his mid-30s, Messi carried more than the hopes of his club or country. He carried the weight of history. Every record he broke, every milestone he reached, became part of football's evolving story. Young players studied him, fans debated him, and commentators chronicled every move. Yet Messi never allowed the weight of expectation to cloud his focus. His mind remained clear, his feet precise, and his heart devoted to the love of the game. He understood that history isn't written in trophies alone, it is written in influence, inspiration, and the respect you earn through character. Even as his fame skyrocketed, Messi's family remained his sanctuary. Antonella, his partner, was the steady presence in his whirlwind life. She managed the children, the media attention, and the inevitable chaos that comes with Messi's global fame. Messi found joy in quiet moments, playing football with Thiago, Matteo, and Ciro in hotel gardens, sharing meals after long matches, or visiting Rosario to reconnect with his roots. These moments reminded him that life's greatest victories aren't scored in stadiums, but in love, laughter, and presence. Even at PSG, Messi created moments that would be remembered forever. A solo run past defenders against Marseille, finishing with a delicate chip over the goalkeeper. An assist to a young teammate, leading to their first professional goal, celebrated with quiet encouragement rather than fanfare. A Champions League match against Manchester City where Messi's vision and precision unlocked a seemingly impenetrable defense. Each performance demonstrated that while time slowed his physicality, it sharpened his intelligence, creativity, and influence on the game. Messi faced trials that transcended football. Media scrutiny that never rested, analyzing his every move. Injuries that required him to adapt his training, pace, and style. Pressure to perform at a level few could match, even in the twilight of his career. Yet Messi's resilience never faltered. He approached challenges with patience, determination, and humility, showing the world that true strength comes from the mind and heart, not just physical skill. Messi's influence extended beyond goals and assists. At PSG, he mentored younger players quietly, offering advice on positioning, game intelligence, and teamwork. His leadership was subtle, demonstrated through example rather than words. Young players often spoke of how Messi's presence elevated the entire team, teaching them that greatness is as much about humility and consistency as it is about talent. Messi often reflected on life and football. Football mirrors life, full of setbacks, triumphs, and unexpected twists. Character is more important than talent. Perseverance in the face of adversity shapes true greatness. Passion fuels excellence more than fame or wealth ever could. Through these reflections, Messi not only understood his journey, but offered lessons to millions of fans and aspiring athletes worldwide. The pinnacle of Messi's international career came with the 2022 World Cup. Every match tested Argentina, but Messi carried the team with intelligence, skill, and composure. The final against France became a match for the ages. Messi scored, assisted, and inspired his teammates. The victory was more than a trophy. It was a culmination of years of dedication, struggle, and relentless pursuit of excellence. For Messi, lifting the World Cup was a moment of personal and national redemption, the final piece of a lifelong dream. As Messi entered his late 30s, retirement rumors intensified. Fans speculated, journalists debated, and teammates reflected on the approaching end of an era. Messi approached the subject with grace, knowing that every player eventually faces the same journey. He embraced the twilight of his career with gratitude, reflection, and quiet pride in the story he had written on the pitch and in life. Messi's legacy is eternal, not only in records and trophies but in inspiration. Children in Rosario and around the world dream of emulating his skill. Teammates and rivals admire his consistency, humility, and intelligence. Fans celebrate not only the goals but the sportsmanship, dedication, and character that defined him. Messi's life proves that true greatness is measured not only in achievements, but in how you influence and uplift others. From a boy kicking a worn ball in Rosario to the greatest footballer of his generation, Messi never stopped dreaming. He faced challenges, injuries, criticism, and pressure. Yet through it all, he remained humble, determined, and devoted to the game he loved. Lionel Messi's story is more than football. It is the story of courage, perseverance, humility, and inspiration. The boy from Rosario became a global legend, teaching the world that with heart, dedication, and passion, dreams can become reality. Messi's journey will forever remind us that greatness begins with a dream, is built through hard work, and is immortalized through character. Lionel Messi's journey began on the dusty streets of Rosario, where a small boy with a worn-out football dreamed of greatness. From a child battling a growth hormone deficiency to a teenager at Barcelona's La Masia Academy, every step was a testament to perseverance. Every challenge, every injury, every doubt was met with quiet determination. Messi's life was a symphony of dedication, daily practice, study of the game, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. His career became a blueprint for anyone chasing a dream, showing that talent is only part of the equation. Heart and humility are just as essential. Through fame, fortune, and global recognition, Messi never lost sight of what mattered most: family. Antonella, his partner, was his constant support, grounding him amid chaos and celebration. Their children, Thiago, Matteo, and Ciro, reminded him that life's true victories are measured not in goals but in love, laughter, and presence. Even after conquering the world stage, Messi cherished simple moments, playing football in hotel gardens, revisiting Rosario, or sharing a quiet meal with his family. These were the victories that truly defined his life. Messi's career is etched into football history. Champions League finals where his brilliance turned the tide. El Clasico matches against Real Madrid, where his dribbling and vision left defenders stunned. The 2022 World Cup victory, the crowning achievement of a lifetime. Yet Messi's greatness was not only in the goals he scored or the records he broke, it was in the way he played the game, with intelligence, creativity, selflessness, and humility. Messi's approach to football mirrored his approach to life. Persevere through adversity. Respect teammates, opponents, and the game. Love the process more than the accolades. Remain humble, even at the pinnacle of success. These principles became his guiding light and inspired millions. Messi taught the world that true greatness is a balance of talent, effort, and character. As he neared the end of his playing career, Messi reflected on his extraordinary journey. He thought of the boy in Rosario, the mentors at La Masia, the teammates who became friends, and the fans who cheered for him across the globe. He felt gratitude, not only for the trophies and recognition, but for the lessons learned, the struggles overcome, and the opportunity to live a life doing what he loved. Messi understood that every challenge, every setback, and every triumph had shaped the man he became. Messi's influence transcends football. He inspired children in playgrounds, guided young players in professional leagues, and gave hope to millions who face obstacles similar to those he overcame. Records and trophies may fade, but Messi's legacy, his humility, determination, and love for the game will endure forever. Through him, the world learned that greatness is not only about achievement, but about inspiration, integrity, and the courage to follow one's dreams. Lionel Messi will always be remembered as the boy who never stopped dreaming. From Rosario to Barcelona, Paris, and the world stage, he faced challenges, injuries, doubts, and pressure, but never lost his love for football. His story is a testament to human potential, showing that passion, resilience, and humility can transform a dream into a legend. Messi's journey may reach its final chapters on the pitch, but his influence will echo for generations. Every young player who picks up a ball will carry a piece of his magic. Every fan who witnessed his brilliance will remember the boy from Rosario, who became eternal. Lionel Messi is more than a footballer. He is an inspiration, a symbol of perseverance, and a reminder that greatness is achieved not by talent alone, but by heart, humility, and relentless pursuit of a dream. The stadiums will eventually empty, trophies will gather dust, and headlines will fade. But the story of Lionel Messi, the boy with a dream, the man who lived it, and the legend who inspired the world will remain timeless. From dusty streets to global glory, Messi showed that dreams, when combined with dedication and humility, can change the world. And in that truth, his legend lives forever.